So the first one we have here is a very popular ballpoint pen, and this is the BIC round stick. Now these come in different sizes. I have a regular size, which is the medium, and the fine. Now the difference between these and the other pens here is, well, besides the brand, is that some of them are a different style or a different grip to them as well, such as the BIC Crystal here, which has more of a hexagonal type of grip to it, whereas the BIC round stick is just a round pen. And these do come in different colors. I have a red, I have a blue, and the black ink, and the BIC round stick fine. Now these are probably the cheapest of all of these pens. You can find these at any Dollar General, Walmart, anywhere, any convenience store around you. These are really cheap. You can get a pack of 24 for under $5 easily, and the rest of them cost a little bit more, but this is probably the most popular. And out of all of these pens, even though it's the cheapest, it is probably one of my favorite pens to draw with. And the reason for that is, with this pen, I can do shading better than the other ones. And they also come in different sizes and colors. So with this pen, if I'm drawing something, I can shade with it really easy compared to a lot of the other pens. And I'll show you what I mean by that really quick. I just have to get another piece of paper here. And so if I'm drawing with this pen, I can hold it at an angle and I can get some shading like this by applying a small amount of pressure. And with the other pens, it's a bit more difficult to do this because of the way that the ink flow is and because of the shape of the tip of the pen. Now, as you can see there, I can do some pretty good shading with it. And if I try that with the other pens, such as this Papermate, it's a bit more difficult to do that. And I'll show you what I mean here. I can still shade, but it's hard to get a consistent shading with it as I do with the BIC ballpoint. As you can see, I get a lot more lines that are bold, they're darker, whereas with the BIC round stick, I can get better shading with it. Now, the BIC Crystal 1.6 is a bold pen. The tip of it is a lot larger. You can fill in areas a lot better. As you can see, I had to take the glue off the tip of it. These pens come in a set of different colors, and they do have like a bit of glue on the end of it you have to take off, and pretty sure they do that so that the ink doesn't leak anywhere or dry up. But these are pretty good for shading as well, as long as you hold the pen at an angle. Let's see if I can get it right here. I haven't used this one in a while. Maybe there's some glue at the end of it. That could be a possibility. And if that is the reason, then I might want to go get myself another pen. It was writing there for a second. There we go. There was a piece of dried ink at the end of it. But anyways, let's go ahead and I'll show you how it looks when I do a little bit of shading with it. That was just a blob there. Get all the ink off the end of it. Okay, here we go. Now we can do some shading. And as you can see here, the BIC does a better job of shading than the Papermate pens do. Now the next one I have here is the BIC Crystal Extra Fine. This is a purple one. This one here, the BIC Crystal 1.6 and the BIC Crystal Ultrafine, all the BIC pens and the Papermate pens come in different colors. So if you're concerned about whether or not you will get a pen in any color other than black, don't worry. These all come in different colors. Now this is the Ultrafine. I get it right some. There we go. I notice I have to hold this one at more of an angle to try to get it to shade than the other pens. It's kind of harder to shade with this one because the tip of the pen is a smaller point than the other ones. The easiest to shade with is probably going to be from my experience, the BIC round stick. So we have done the BIC Crystal 1.6. We have used the Ultrafine, the round stick as well, and we have used the Papermate Ink Joy 1.0. And this one I thought was a different one. It was just the same thing, but a different color. Don't need that. But anyways, these are the pens that I have here. So it's actually 4 of them, not 5. So out of all of these, like I said, probably my favorite would be the BIC round stick. Because it's cheapest, most convenient to use, best at shading. You get different sizes with it as well. So you can use the fine, the medium, and then if you want something really bold, you can just get the Crystal BIC pen, the 1.6 ballpoint. So these are the pens that I use that are ballpoint pens that I use for doing all of my doodles and shading. And the best one, I think, for doing portrait drawing, shading, or drawing anything realistic is going to be the BIC round stick, which is nice to have the one that is actually the best pen also be the cheapest one, because oftentimes when it comes to some art supplies, if you want the one that works the best, it tends to be the one that's the most expensive. And we do know that from experience with fountain pens or other pens that are expensive, like rotring isographs. So that is my review of the pens that I have that are ballpoints, and those are the only ones that I use at the moment. I have been thinking about maybe getting different brands of pens, different sizes and colors as well, but these are the ones that have worked for me, and I haven't had any need or reason to get any other brand because it's worked fine for me. I haven't had much of any problems because I have always been using, more than anything, the BIC round stick, which would be the fine and the medium size. So if you got any questions, go ahead and let me know in the comments below this video. If there's anything you'd like me to review over art supplies or any other pens, and let me know if you use this pen for your drawing as well. It's a good pen. It's good for doodling. It is cheap. So if you're low on money or income and you want something that's good to use, this is a good pen to start with. And especially if you're a beginner artist and you want to practice shading, this will give you a lot better hand control than if you start out with the graphite, because you can't undo these once you put the marks on the paper. So it'll teach you to be more precise in the drawing that you do. So go ahead and let me know what you think, if you use these pens, of which ones you prefer. And if there's anything you'd like me to try and do a drawing with or do a review of, go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I can do that for you. But until then, I'll see you in the next video, and you have a good day.